Hello everyone. Very good evening to all of you. Am I clearly visible, audible? Everything is good to go? Let me confirm. If everything is visible, audible, and everything is good to go, I will start the session. Can someone reply in the comment box? If visibility, audibility, everything is good to go? Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for replying, Sumanna. Thank you so much. So I welcome you all for today's session. Very good evening to all of you. And today in this batch, the third Prof Buster 1.0, we are going to continue our last demo class. So this is the last demo class of ophthalmology. I guess this is our ninth demo, right? So we have taken two demo sessions of each subject of the third Prof, two for community medicine, two for forensic medicine, two for ENT, and this is the third demo, three demos for ophthalmology. So today I'm going to finish our running topic in ophthalmology, that is errors of refraction. Today is the ultra important topic. I am going to discuss the surgeries with animations, videos, simplified images, and these surgeries are very important from exam point of view, whether you say it is for university exam or whether for your competitive exam. Many questions are framed from these surgeries, and these surgeries are very tricky to understand. Okay, so focus. So let's start it. Let me share my screen with you. I guess you can see the screen also. Okay, everyone can see the screen? Shallow. So let's start it. So today we are going to continue the topic, that is errors of refraction and accommodation, episode number 3. This is the third episode. So, but as you know, it is a demo session and every day many new students are joining in the demos. So they don't have the complete awareness about the batch. So in the first 2 minutes, I will give a brief introduction regarding the batch. So we have started a new batch for the third prof students. The name of the batch is Third Prof Buster 1.0, in which me, Dr. Priyanka Sachdev, going to cover all 4 subjects of the third prof. Okay, the importance of this batch is that I will make it happen that the 4 subjects of the third prof, that is community medicine, FMT, ENT, and ophthalmology, will be finished in 4.5 months in the end of the February, maximum in the end of the February. So we are going to finish all these 4 subjects and you will get enough time to start your final subjects till your university exam if you are currently in your third prof, right? Now this batch is important for the students who are currently in the third prof and preparing for their university exam, and obviously simultaneously they want to prepare for NEET PG, NICT, or for the foreign medical graduates or FMG. So simultaneously, obviously, you want to prepare these subjects, right? So if you are completely relying on the batch, that is Third Prof Buster 1.0, take my words, I take the guarantee you will get distinction in your university exam if you're completely relying and focusing here. And not only this, you will be able to crack any MCQ of any platform, any question bank based on these topics of these subjects, right? Now, I will take daily 2 to 3 hours live sessions. The timing will be 5 p.m. onwards, and the batch will be commenced in 4.5 months, nearly in the end of the February. This is a detailed tentative schedule. Along with the live daily sessions, recordings for 1 year will be accessible for community medicine and forensic medicine. But for ENT and Ophthal, the recordings will be accessible for 2 years. Because in many colleges and many universities, ENT and Ophthal is not included in third prof, it is included in final year. So for the convenience of the student, they can revise in their final year. We will give the access for recordings for ENT and Ophthal for 2 years. Okay, you will get digital notes, printable notes, annotated notes, quizzes, question bank, practical library, and I will teach you with 3D models. Okay, and if you have any other query, please drop your message on this number, on the support number. Team will help you. Okay, chalo, let's start the topic. With this orientation, I would like to start the topic. Can I start? Everyone give me a thumbs up, show some energy. So let's continue the topic, errors of refraction. Again, in the next 2 to 3 minutes, we will revise episode 1 and episode 2. We will not revise. We will just see the glimpse what we have studied so that I can directly move on the treatment portion, that is the surgery. Okay. So I started that refraction. Based on the refraction, human eye can be divided into 2 portions, emetropia and ametropia. Everyone knows what is emetropia. It's optically normal eye. When there is no error of refraction in the eye, it is known as emetropia. I mean to say, when the parallel rays come from the infinity and they focus on retina, on retina, neither before it nor behind it. So it is known as normal eye, emetropic eye. But what is ametropia? Ametropia is error of refraction. My topic, that is error of refraction. There are 5 error of refraction, okay, and all 5 are well covered by me. What are the 5 refraction errors? Hypermetropia, myopia, astigmatism, anisometropia, and anisoconia. So I taught you hypermetropia under these headings, myopia under these headings, astigmatism yesterday I taught you in these headings, ametropia and anisoconia. So please, if you have missed my session episode 1, episode 2, you can't afford to do so. Please do watch. Okay, it's already covered. And I have started the treatment portion. So this is the treatment portion. For treating these 5 errors, hypermetropia, myopia, astigmatism, anisoconia, and isometropia. For treating these 5, we are having 3 options. We are having optical treatment and surgical treatment. Optical treatment includes spectacles and contact lens, which is already covered yesterday. Okay, so spectacles. In the spectacles, I taught you the type of the spectacles. If you remember the 2 type of the spectacles, glass and plastic. Plastic are further of 3 type. This is glass. These are the 3 type of plastic. I taught you material of each of them. The glass is the crown glass, the 3 type of plastic, what material does it? And I told you the refractive index of each of these material on which you get the MCQs. After that, we started contact lens. I already taught you contact lens yesterday, people. Yes or no? Huh? I taught you contact lens under these headings. The most important is parts and types. These are the parts and these are the types of the contact lens. I told you hard contact lens made up of PAMA, soft contact lens made up of HEMA, and RGP, rigid gas permeable contact lens made up of PAMA plus CAP. I taught you yesterday the full forms. And today I'm starting my session. So this is the beginning point. In the last 4-5 minutes, we have seen the orientation of the patch and the orientation of last 2 episodes. So you know my way of teaching, I cannot directly start with this slide. Now, whatever I am teaching you is the new portion. So can I start? Can we start? Okay, chalo. Let's start it. So today I'm going to teach you the refractive surgeries. The refractive surgeries to correct these errors of refraction, which is a very important topic, refractive surgeries. Okay, now before coming on refractive surgery, I will teach you many surgeries today, maybe nearly 9 surgeries. I will show you the videos, animations, images, everything. But before that, in the first episode of errors of refraction, I told you human eye refractive power. Human eye refractive power depend on 3 factors. If you've attended the session, you are understanding it. Human eye, this is human eye. Refractive power depend on 3 factors. What 3 factors? Cornea, lens, and axial length of the eyeball. Got it? Listen, the curvature of the cornea. Appreciate the curvature and material. Radius of curvature and refractive index. That is material of the cornea. These 2 things decide how much the rays will converge. Okay. Second, lens. Lens. Again, the radius of curvature and the material of the lens. The radius of curvature and refractive index of the lens also, the second thing. And third thing, axial length of the eyeball. This is axial length, AP length of the eyeball, AP length of the eyeball. So these 3 things, what 3 things, people please do understand. If you understand the basic of the surgery now, understanding the steps of surgery will be very easy cakewalk for you. But you please understand the basic. So first you understand what is a defect. Okay, first you understand physiology, then you understand what is the defect in each of these 5 disorders. Then how to correct that defect with the help of surgery will be very easy. Got it? So this is the refractive power. So in the great God has given us cornea, the radius of curvature and material of cornea, lens, the radius of curvature and the material of lens, and axial length of the eyeball. These 3 things are given by the great God in all human eyes in such a proportion that when parallel rays come from infinity, they automatically focus on the retina. You can see. When parallel rays are coming from infinity, why they focus on retina? Normally, if the person don't have defect, I don't have any of the 5 defect till now in my life. Maybe in future I have any. Okay. But till now, my eyes are maybe emetropic. Okay. So God has given like that only, na? So when parallel rays from any object are coming in my eyes, it automatically focus on my retina. Not behind, not in front. So why? Because the God has given such a proportion. Like God has made the cornea, lens, and the AP length. They are in such a proportion that when rays come from infinity, it focuses on retina. And this is known as refractive power of the eye. Now, when refractive power of the eye is disturbed, then these 5 disorders are happening. Now, I taught you 5 disorders yesterday. Hypermetropia, myopia, astigmatism, anisoconia, anisometropia. So these are happening because refractive power is disturbed. So first you understand what are the things, what are the factors which are responsible for maintaining normal refractive power. Then only you will be able to understand what is the problem. Now, let me start the refractive surgeries for myopia. I'm starting the surgeries, people focus. I'm starting the surgeries, okay. So I'm starting the refractive, the myopia surgeries are most important. In other, surgeries are not very common. The other disorders like astigmatism, it is treated with cylindrical lens, and anisoconia and anisometropia, they are replaced by lens exchange. But in myopia, there are 9 surgery options. I will be teaching you all of them. So let's start the refractive surgeries for myopia. So I will start the surgeries. I will show you how many type of surgeries are there, steps in each of them, flowchart in each of them, diagram as well as video animations in each of them. But before that, we have to understand what is the basic problem in myopia, what we want to correct. I'm an ophthalmologist. There is a patient in front of me. The patient is having myopia. I want to do a surgery for the myopia so that myopia can be corrected, obviously. Okay, I want to do surgery so that myopia is corrected. So first you understand what is the problem in myopia, what I want to fix. If you know what you want to fix, fixing is very easy. We will fix the problem, but if you know what is the problem. If you don't know the problem, how you are going to fix that? Okay, so first you tell me what is the problem in myopia. You tell me. I already taught you myopia. You tell what is the problem in myopia. Huh? Myopia, also known as nearsightedness. Here, there is some problem in one of the 3 factors. What are the 3 factors for refractive power? Cornea, lens, and AP length, axial length of the eyeball. So either cornea or lens or AP length of the eyeball, any of them or multiple of them are defective. So that refractive power of the eye is not normal. Normally, when the rays come from infinity, where they should focus? They should focus on retina. But here refractive power, any of them is defective or multiple of them is defective. Here refractive power of the eye is more as compared to normal eye. The eye is hyper refractive power. Okay, hyper, normal is good. Okay, below normal as well as above normal, both are diseases. Okay, normally human eye have refractive power. The refractive power set by the God, the great God has set the refractive power that when the rays come from infinity, it focus on retina. But when refractive power increases, it focus before retina. And when refractive power decreases, it focus behind retina. This disorder is known as myopia, and this disorder known as hypermetropia. I'm trying, people, say something. You are getting me what I'm saying? Okay, so you can see here in myopia, what is the problem? The refractive power is more. Refractive power more is problematic. It's a disease, it's not normal. So if I'm an ophthalmologist, I want to fix myopia in my patient, I have to reduce the refractive power to bring it to normal. First, you understand what's the problem. So surgery mein karna kya hai, boss? What we want to do in the surgery? We want to reduce the refractive power to bring it back to normal so that the person will have normal vision. Here refractive power is more, and that's why when the rays come from infinity, they focus before retina. See the point where it is focusing. It is focusing before retina because refractive power is more. You can see. Now compare the two. This is normal and this is myopia. Appreciate, people. Understand the problem. This is normal. This is myopia. Here also rays coming from infinity. Here also rays coming from infinity. Normally, the refractive power is normal and it is set. It is set by the God. Okay, with all the factors, the cornea, the lens, and the AP length given in such a proportion that refractive power is normal. So when the rays come from infinity, you can see this. So the proportion of cornea, lens, and AP diameter is such that it focuses on retina. But here in myopia, there is some problem either in the cornea or in the lens or in the AP diameter. Okay, in one of the 3 or multiple of them. What is the problem? Whatever is the problem, the refractive power of the eye become more than normal. Here it is normal. Here refractive power of the eye become more than normal. So here when the rays come from infinity, here when the rays are coming from infinity, they focus before retina because the eye, human eye, become hyperactive. Okay, here refractive power is more. So retina तक जाना चाहिए था लेकिन उससे पहले पहले ही कन्वर्ज कर दिया. It is converging before the retina. Now this is my patient. My patient is coming to me. I'm an ophthalmologist. I'm a pathologist, but suppose I'm an ophthalmologist. I want to fix it. So what I'm supposed to do? I will do some or other surgery. If patient do not want to use spectacle, if patient do not want to use contact lens, the third option is the surgery. Okay, we will operate the patient. We will do the surgery, refractive surgery. There are various types of surgery. In all the surgery, the motto is same, to reduce the refractive power. So ultimately to correct it, if you want to correct myopia, You have to reduce the refractive power so that the refractive power which is elevated again become normal. How many of you got it? Give me a thumbs up. If you got the problem, solution is very simple. Okay, most of the students, they just start reading the surgery. They don't know what is the motto of the surgery. भाई surgery कर क्यों रहे हो? वो तो मालूम होना चाहिए ना. You know what you want to fix ना. Now surgeries are very easy. Okay, everyone got it. Only 1-2 students. What about others? Kindly everyone respond. Okay, chalo. So I taught you the types of myopia also. One more thing before I start. I taught you the types of myopia. If you remember, I taught you 5 types of myopia. One of the type is curvature myopia, which is most common. What is the problem in the curvature myopia? Learn this golden rule. I already taught you this in my first session. Radius of curvature of lens or cornea, both of them, is inversely proportional to refractive power of the eye. If radius of curvature is more, the refractive power is less. If radius of curvature is less, the refractive power is more. What is the golden formula? What is the golden formula? Radius of curvature is inversely proportional to refractive power of the eye. It's a golden formula. You can't change it. It's a formula in the physics. You have to learn it in optics. Okay. Radius of curvature of whom? Radius of curvature of lens or cornea. Okay. It is inversely proportional to refractive power. I told you this formula. Now we will apply them in the surgery, people. So you know this golden formula. Can you see this human eye? In this human eye, currently, can you see the cornea? This is the cornea. Okay. And this is the lens. Okay. Appreciate the cornea. Appreciate the lens. Now, in the surgeries, I can change the radius of curvature of the cornea by doing the surgeries. So what I want to do, people, I will explain. It's tricky. Please understand. So what is happening in myopia? You tell me what's happening in myopia. In myopia, the radius of curvature is reduced. The radius in myopia, we are talking about myopia. Currently, my disease is myopia. Okay, for which I'm teaching you the surgery. Here, the radius of curvature is reduced. Okay, especially cornea or of lens. So refractive power is increased. I want to bring it back. So if you want to bring it back, if you want to treat it, you want to reduce the refractive power to bring it to normal. So you have to increase the radius of curvature by doing surgeries. So by doing various surgeries, I will increase the radius of curvature of the cornea. You're getting my point, what I'm saying. Now please see, this is my basal diagram. I call this diagram as basal diagram. I will show you this diagram 7 more times in 7 surgery. I will do some changes in that. So if you understand the basal diagram, understanding the various 7 types of surgery will be fun for you. But understand the basal diagram. Can you see the two things here? It is cornea. I have drawn only cornea. Can you appreciate? Here, cornea. See the boundaries of cornea. This is the boundary of cornea I'm drawing. This is outer line, this is inner line, and this is the boundary of cornea. Let me color it. Can you see? This is cornea and coloring between the outer and the inner boundary. So I have not drawn the complete eye. Currently, I'm just focusing on the cornea because first I will teach you corneal surgeries. Then I will teach you lenticular surgeries. Then I will show you the lens. Currently, first I will teach you corneal surgeries. Then I will teach you lenticular surgeries. First focus on cornea. Don't see the other eye. Okay, see only cornea. Can you see cornea? Say yes. Huh? So this is the two diagrams of the cornea. Now see this cornea and see this cornea. First you understand the C-shaped structure. I have drawn two C-shaped structure in front of you. Have I drawn? Yes. So this C-shaped structure is this red one. Can you see? It is cornea. I have drawn two cornea. This is cornea. It is C-shaped. This cornea, the remaining I have not drawn. I have drawn only cornea because I am interested only in cornea. Can you see the two cornea? Now see the difference between the two cornea, people. I cannot ease more than this. These are the heights or limits. And one more thing, these diagrams, which I am going to show you in the surgery, it is nowhere given in this world, in planet, on any source, on any platform, on Google, on any book. This is my innovation. It is the simplest version I'm telling you the surgeries today. So please focus. Can you see the two cornea? The normal cornea is like that. It is relatively flat. Can you see? This is normal cornea. This one. It is relatively flat. But in myopia, the cornea become more curved. Can you see? It become more curved. See the two C-shaped. See this C and this C. You appreciate? Both are cornea. Both are curved. But one is relatively flat and one is curved. Normally it is like this. But in myopia, it become like this. Normally it is like this. But in myopia, it become like this. You are getting it? Huh? Yes, absolutely right, Sumana. You got it. Okay. Now, here, the radius of curvature is normal. Whatever is the radius of curvature here, it's normal. So, refractive power is normal. It is given by the God, na? पे गॉड ने सेट करके भेजा है अंदर. ओके, सो गॉड हैज सेटेड इट, इट्स नॉर्मल, इट्स नॉर्मल. बट इन myopia here what is happening? What is happening? The radius of curvature is reduced, and that's why refractive power is more, because the radius of curvature is inversely proportional to refractive power. That is happening in myopia. You say, ma'am, how radius of curvature is reduced? See, whenever you want to see the radius of curvature, now complete the circle. Always try to complete the circle. I will do it for you to explain you. See. I will complete this circle and I will complete this circle. You yourself decide using your common sense if you have. You yourself decide which is having more radius of curvature. Appreciate this radius of curvature, and appreciate this radius of curvature. Obviously, here radius of curvature is more and here radius of curvature is less. So if it become more curved, the radius of curvature is less. देखो, समझो, if it become more curved, the radius of curvature is less. It is forming a small circle. So here radius of curvature is less, and that's why the refractive power is more. Okay, so this is the problem. So what we want to do now? I am an ophthalmologist. Yes, I am an ophthalmologist. This is my patient in front of me. I want to treat my patient, obviously. So my patient is having more refractive power because having less radius of curvature. I want to fix it. So I will do the surgery to increase the radius of curvature so that the refractive power is reduced and it become normal. I will do a surgery. So this is my golden rule. In myopia, the refractive power increases. So if you want to correct myopia, you have to reduce refractive power. How? By increasing radius of curvature. So we will do various surgery, and the motto of all these surgery is to increase the radius of curvature. If we increase radius of curvature by any surgery, the refractive power is going to reduce. By reduction, it will become normal. Okay, currently in myopia, the refractive power is more. Okay, I will, by doing surgery, I will reduce it to bring it to normal. Normal se kam nahi karungi. I will reduce to such a level so that it become normal and fix it. So this is the ultimate motto. Okay, and refractive power is inversely proportional to radius of curvature. Okay, so in myopia, refractive power is more, but radius of curvature is less. So by doing surgery, I will increase the radius of curvature. I hope I'm crystal clear in my concept. So what is the purpose of surgery? Aim of surgery. Now you tell me. I will start the surgeries now. Straightforward, I will start the surgery. If you tell me the aim of the surgery. Aim of surgery is to increase the radius of curvature and reduce the refractive power so that they become normal. Okay, people appreciate my efforts. I'm putting so many efforts here in such a quiet audience. Not expected. Chalo, got it? This is the golden rule. So let's start the surgeries. Let's start the surgeries. These are the surgeries I'm going to teach you today. These are the surgeries for myopia. Okay, you can see the surgeries for myopia. So we are having two types of surgeries. What are the two types of surgeries we are having? We are having cornea-based surgery. We are having lens-based surgery. Cornea-based surgery, lens-based surgery. Cornea-based surgeries are 5. Okay, what are the 5 cornea-based surgery? Radial keratotomy. This is keratotomy. It is known as RK. Okay, then TRK and LASIK. These are the two types of laser ablation. I will consider at 2 surgeries. Then relax. Relax. What is the full form of relax? It's refractive lenticular extraction. Refractive lenticular extraction. Relax. Then ICR. The next is ICR. Intracorneal ring implantation. Intracorneal ring implantation. And last is orthokeratectomy. Orthokeratology. So these 5 surgeries are cornea based. They are very easy. Their name itself depicts their meaning. I will explain. You got the purpose, na? So these are cornea based and these are lens based. Lens based means we will do refractive lens exchange and phakic refractive lens. Okay, they're very easy. So here in all the cornea based surgery and lens based surgery, ultimate aim of all these surgeries is to reduce the refractive power. Because in myopia, the refractive power is more. We want to reduce it and bring it back to normal. The aim of all these surgeries, don't you dare to forget the aim. This is the aim. Okay, so can I start? Let's start it. Let's inaugurate the surgeries. Now they are very easy. So let's start corneal based surgery. I'm starting with corneal based surgery. Okay, one by one we will start. In the corneal based surgery, the first surgery is radial keratotomy. It is known as RK, radial keratotomy. RK surgery, radial keratotomy. Say the full form of RK, I will call it RK, radial keratotomy surgery, the first surgery. So what we are doing here, see my diagram. My diagrams are best. What we are doing here, we are making radial incisions in the cornea, in the peripheral part of the cornea. Can you see this is cornea? Suppose this is cornea. Can you see the cornea here? See, this is the cornea. Okay, so I will make incisions. This is the center of the cornea. In the center of the cornea, I will not make any incision. I will make incisions in the peripheral. I will not cut with a scissor. Please, I will not cut through and through with scissor, multiple cuts. No, 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 no. I don't have marker. I forgot to take marker with me. If I was having, let's try this one. It's a pen. It will not run on this glass. Anyways, you are getting it. So here we will not use scissor. We will use scalpel and we will give partial cut. We are not doing full cut through and through. Okay, we are doing partial cut. Partial cut, I mean to say we are doing cut. We are doing 90% up to the 90% thickness. Up to the 90% thickness, but not 100%. If I do 100% cut, it will be like, different portions. No. So in the central part, I am not giving any cut. In the peripheral part, I am giving partial cut up to 90% thickness. Like this. Can you see the cuts? These are the cuts. People say, yes, in the peripheral part, we are giving the cuts. These are the cuts. These are known as radial incisions. Radial cuts, radial incision. Okay, radial incisions. And they are involving 90% of thickness. This is the complete thickness. I'm not cutting with scissor. I'm not cutting through and through. I'm giving cut up to 90%, up to 90% of the thickness. Okay, if you see from the side, this is the 90% thickness. You can see, but 10% is preserved. Appreciate this 10%. This 10% is preserved. This 90% is cut. You can see the side section. This is the side view. This is the front view. Appreciate front view as well as side view. If you got it, keep responding that you are getting it. Now this is the side view. Appreciate this is my patient myopic patient. So what I am doing, people, I am giving cuts in the periphery like this, like this. You can see in the 90% of the thickness, not in 100%. And I'm not giving any cut in the center. No, in the center, we are not giving any cut. We are giving the cuts at the periphery. This is side view, people, and this is the front view. I hope this is the front view. I will show you videos also. This is the front view. But if you understand now what we are doing, say this is what we are doing. See in this diagram, can you see the cuts? Appreciate 90% thickness of the cornea. 90%, not 100%. So the cuts are radial, number one. The incision is radial. It is radial in nature. Number two, it is at the periphery, not at the center. And number three, it involves 90% of the thickness of the cornea, not 100%. Learn the three features of the incision. Incisions are radial in nature. They are at the periphery and involving 90% of the thickness of the cornea. Can you get it? 90% of the thickness of the cornea, and they are not at the center. Now see this diagram, see this diagram, see this diagram. This diagram may be two diagrams, the front view, the side view, whatever you want to draw. See this my principal diagram. Appreciate it. So you will say, ma'am, what will happen by doing these cuts? Okay, have you read pathology? I guess you must have. In pathology, I taught you healing chapter, chapter number 3, inflammation, Robbins. Yeah, healing and repair. There was a chapter. So whenever we give incision, healing occurs. Healing may contraction occur. The last step of healing is contraction. Say yes or no. So here these are the cuts. These are incision. In all of them, healing will occur. Whenever healing occurs, contraction occurs. Contraction occurs. So imagine this part is getting contracted. This part is getting contracted. So this cornea will become like this. It will become flattened. Because of the contraction, it will become flattened. Okay, you can imagine. How should I show you? So if the peripheral part get contracted, so the curvature will get flat. Okay, relatively flat. So radius of curvature will increase and refractive power will reduce and it become normal. Almost it become normal. So same thing is written in the form of flowchart. First you tell me how many of you got it. I will show you a video also. Everyone on the screen. What we are doing? See, we are doing the cuts like this. So what we are doing? This is our cornea. I'm showing you the front view. See in the front view, appreciate the central zone is not given any cuts. The cuts are radial, they are in the periphery and they involve 90% of the thickness. And when the healing will occur, there will be contraction. So read it. What we are doing, we are done with the first surgery. What we are doing in radial keratotomy, we make deep incisions. 90% of thickness of the cornea is involved. Deep radial incision in the peripheral part of the cornea. We leave central 4 mm optic zone. We don't touch the central 4 mm zone. Okay, we don't give any cut in the central 4 mm zone. So these incision will heal. When healing occur, contraction occur, because of contraction, there is flattening. From here, the flowchart is same in all my surgeries. Okay, till here it will be different. So you have to learn the basic of the surgery above. Below the flowchart is same, cut, copy, paste. So once the cornea becomes flat, what's going to happen? Radius of curvature increase. If radius of curvature increase, refractive power reduce. Refractive power reduce and there is correction of the myopia. The refractive power reduce and it become normal. So there is correction. So this portion you will get repetition 7 times. Only the upper portion is changing because aim of all surgery is the same. The aim of all surgery is to cause flattening of the cornea. Okay, by doing anything. If you can flatten cornea, myopia will be corrected. Okay, you can understand it why. Why flattening of the cornea causing correction of myopia, you can understand it. Flattening of the cornea causes increase in radius of curvature. Okay, because your radius of curvature is reduced now, you want to increase it. So by causing flattening of the cornea, radius of curvature will increase and refractive power will reduce and it become normal. How many of you got it, people? First surgery is over. So this surgery, that is radial keratotomy, it is not used nowadays because there are many disadvantages that will come. But if it is used for moderate myopia. Only for moderate, not for high myopia. -2 to -6 diopter. Up to -2 to -6 diopter myopia, we use this surgery, otherwise we don't use this. Oh, okay. Got it? Okay. Yes, we do 90% thickness. Sumanna, we give 90% thickness, but the length of the incision will vary depending on how much defect the patient is having. Sumanna, the length of these incisions can vary. The length of these incisions can vary depending how much healing we want, how much flattening we want, how much correction we want. It depends on patient to patient, but we don't perform the surgery nowadays because there are many disadvantages. The disadvantage is that cornea become very weak. Only it is 10% remained. The 90%, up to 90% thickness incisions are there. So cornea is very weak and anytime the globe rupture can take place. You know, the complete eyeball get ruptured. Now see here, there are incisions over here. So cornea is very weak. At any point, it can rupture and everything can come out. The lens can come out, everything. It is known as globe rupture. Globe rupture. You can see here, globe rupture, the lens is coming out. Sometime the globe rupture can take place. Okay, number 1. Number 2, yesterday I taught you astigmatism. What was astigmatism? Remembering? Irregular astigmatism. Kisi yaad hai? Who have attended my yesterday's session? Irregular astigmatism is a football with multiple dents. So if you are giving multiple cuts in the cornea, as I have shown you in this video, you can see multiple cuts in the cornea like this, like this, like this. If you're giving multiple cuts, so ultimately it will be a ball with multiple dents, multiple cuts like that. So irregular astigmatism can happen in future. That's why this surgery is not recommended nowadays because we have many better options. It was the first surgery which was discovered. Okay, got it? How many of you got it? We are done with the first surgery. I'm going to teach you all these refractive surgeries for myopia. I've shown you the video, flowchart, images. People say the first surgery steps are done. Everyone got it? If you know the problem, you will understand how to fix it. If you directly jump on fixation is surgery. If you directly jump on the surgery, you're not going to get anything. In the books, directly surgeries are given. In the books, problem is not mentioned. First, you understand the problem. Then you understand what you want to fix in the surgery. The problem is that in myopia, I'm talking about myopia. In myopia, what is the problem? The problem is that the eye become hyper-refractive. Refractive power of the eye is more. That's why when the parallel rays come from infinity, they converge before retina. We want to fix it. So by doing surgery, I want to reduce the refractive power and bring it back to normal. Okay, but I know a golden rule. The golden rule is that refractive power is inversely proportional to radius of curvature. Okay, so here refractive power is more in myopia, but radius of curvature is less. Okay, so by doing surgery, I want to increase the radius of curvature. In other words, I want to get cornea flattened. So by doing surgeries, I'm flattening the cornea so that the radius of curvature is increased and so that the refractive power is reduced and it becomes normal and the myopia can be corrected. Okay, got it? So this was the summary again. Coming on the second surgery, people fast. Coming on the second surgery. What is the second surgery? Name of second surgery? The name of second surgery is laser ablation corneal procedure. Laser ablation. Okay, it is of two types. Laser ablation. We will use laser. We will not use scalpel. Here we have given the radial cuts with scalpel. Okay, with knife, with scalpel. Okay, but here we don't use scalpel. We will use laser for doing the ablations, for cuttings, for ablations. There are two types of procedures, PRK and LASIK. Okay, laser ablations are of two types. What is the full form of PRK? Photorefractive keratectomy. 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 Say with me, photorefractive keratectomy. Okay, and second is LASIK. LASIK is most famous surgery, refractive surgery nowadays for fixing myopia. Many of you maybe, some of you maybe have performed this surgery, okay? Because it is currently the surgery of choice. LASIK. What is the full form of LASIK? LASIK is laser in situ. Laser in situ, okay? LASIK. Laser in situ and keratomileusis. Okay, it's like this. So LASIK. LASIK का LA is laser. ओके लेजर इन सीटू को ऐसा लिखेंगे इन सीटू लेजर इन सीटू सो इट इज लेजर एलए इन सीटू keratomeliosis. So this is the full form of LASIK if you want to learn. So these are the two laser based surgery, laser ablation. One by one we will take that. These are considered as two different surgeries. Okay. So first I am taking PRK. Okay. What is the full form of PRK? It is photorefractive keratectomy. Photorefractive keratotomy नहीं है, keratectomy. Keratectomy, mind it. So the first one is photorefractive keratectomy. It is PRK. The first one was RK. RK was radial keratotomy. This one is photorefractive keratectomy. Mind my words, my pronunciation. So this is PRK. So in PRK, what we are doing? See what we are doing. See, it's in front of you. No words to explain. Okay, it's very easy. You can appreciate. So what we are doing? We are using laser. We are using which laser? We are using a excimer laser. There are various type of laser. We are using, I will teach you a chapter laser in which various type of laser with various their frequencies and wavelength I will teach you. So there is excimer laser, which is 193 nanometer is its wavelength. This laser we use to ablate the anterior corneal stroma in the optic zone. If you mind, in the last surgery, I was giving incision in the peripheral zone. I was not touching the central 4 mm optic zone. But here I am touching the central 4 mm optic zone and I am ablating this zone, the front portion, the anterior portion. See the boundaries. This is anterior boundary of cornea. This is posterior boundary of cornea. This is cornea. Okay, I want to get it flattened so that it become normal. Okay, by various procedures, I want to get it flattened. So what I am doing, I am using a laser. I am putting a laser over here so that it is ablating. This is laser, excimer laser, which is having a wavelength of 193 nanometer. Okay, it is causing ablation of the anterior portion of the cornea in the optic zone in the center. Say it completely. Okay, so in the optic zone, in the center of the cornea, we are ablating the corneal stroma, anterior corneal stroma. Mind the word anterior. See, this red dot is ablated portion. This portion got ablated. But you know, if this is cornea, how should I explain you? Listen, what I want to say. If this is cornea, okay, so this ablation can be done over the anterior margin, mid portion or posterior margin. So I am doing the ablation on the anterior margin, not mid, not posterior. This is what I want to say. Appreciate. The ablation is in the anterior portion because in the next I will do in the mid portion. Here I am doing on the anterior. So highlight the word anterior. Anterior corneal stroma is ablated with the help of a laser in the central optic zone of the cornea. It will cause flattening. Now this portion got ablated. So the cornea will get flattened. Na? Thoda chapta ho jayega. It will get flattened. This portion got ablated. So it will get flattened. Once it gets flattened, the radius of curvature is going to increase and becoming normal. And refractive power is going to reduce and it's going to normal. And our problem is going to solve. So it will cause flattening of the cornea. Because of flattening of cornea, the radius of curvature will increase and refractive power is reduced and it become normal and our problem is fixed. How many of you got it? How many of you are learning, enjoying, understanding this beautiful concept? Say, people say. So this is the surgery. I hope you got the steps. Everyone got the steps? You got the diagram? So this is what we are doing. Appreciate the central portion of the cornea. This is known as optic zone. Okay. And we are ablating it. It's anterior stroma with the help of a laser. I will show you video also. Don't worry. So this portion get ablated. Initially it was like this. Okay. But now I have ablated. So this become, the periphery is same, but the central portion become like this. So cornea got flattened. Ultimate purpose, cornea got flattened. You can see what we are doing. You can see this is cornea and this is the central portion of cornea and we are ablating with a laser. This is excimer laser. This is what we are doing. So what we are doing, see in this diagram also, we are ablating the anterior portion of the cornea with the laser. Okay, see this video. You can see what we have done. See it again. First you see, appreciate this curvature. Appreciate the curvature of the blue thing. And after laser, appreciate the curvature. It got flattened. People, after ablation, see the flattening. Initially, see the curvature. See the curvature initially, it's curved. And after ablation, it got flat. It got flat. So this is flattening. Okay, I hope you got it. So this is what we are doing. We are flattening with the help of laser. So this is laser and we are flattening it. So I hope it's crystal clear. Again, it is used for moderate myopia, -2 to -6 diopter. It is not used for high myopia. Like RK, PRK is also used for moderate myopia, -2 to -6. People say, respond. We are done with PRK. You have to draw the flowchart and diagram. Diagram, I have given you various choices. 3-4 types of diagram. Whatever you want, you can draw. Only thing, the examiner should understand what you are drawing. You should be able to explain. Say, I've shown you videos also to understand. Now coming on LASIK, as I told you, the most popular refractive surgery nowadays is LASIK. What is the full form of LASIK? Laser. Laser in situ. Laser in situ keratomileusis. LASIK. This is the full form of LASIK. This is how you have to learn the full form of LASIK. So what we are doing in LASIK, listen, understand. My diagrams are best. I don't know, I like only my diagrams. They are the best to understand. See what we are doing. Again, we use laser. Again, we in this surgery also, we use laser. But we are using, we are with the help of laser, we are separating a flap. Can you see this flap? A flap of cornea. We are taking it up. The flap. We are taking a flap up. We are taking a flap upside. A flap of the cornea is taken upside. Okay. How much thickness of flap? 130 to 160 micron. So the thickness of this flap is 130 to 160 micron. A small flap from the central zone is taken outside. From the anterior cornea is taken outside. Okay. With the help of laser. Automated laser. Either with laser or with a keratotome. Keratotome means it is used for cutting. It is like scalpel. So, but nowadays we use laser. Okay. After creating the flap, taking it up. Okay. Now, the mid-stromal tissue of the cornea is ablated with the same laser. Axismers laser. First, you are taking the flap up and then the mid portion of this is ablated. Can you see? It is the mid portion. The mid portion is ablated and then the flap is reposited. Then flap, this flap I will reposit again. I will reposit it again. Okay, so this is what we are doing. See it here, see. So first we are taking the flap up, say yes, with the help of keratotome. Then we are putting lasers. Okay, and ablating this portion, the mid-stromal, not anterior, not posterior, the mid-stromal. And then we are repositing this flap. Appreciate, the flap is reposited. By doing so, the mid portion of the cornea is ablated, not the anterior. These are the exact steps you can see. We are taking the flap, appreciate, we are taking the flap out. Then we are putting the laser, we are ablating it, and then we're putting the flap back. Appreciate, in this case, the mid, appreciate my words, mid portion of the cornea is ablated. So you can see it here. Appreciate it. This is LASIK. Okay, the video will run. You can see. So we are taking the flap, putting the laser, putting the flap back, so that the mid portion of the cornea get ablated. See it here in this video also. This is cornea. The blue color is the cornea. First, we are using a blade, keratotome, to take the flap. The thickness of the flap is 130 to 160 micrometer. This is the flap. Now we are putting the laser. Appreciate the laser, the green color laser, to ablate the mid portion of cornea, the mid-stroma. Then we are repositing the flap. See this video also. I'm showing you again and again so that. So we are taking the flap, we are putting the laser, repositing the flap. Got it? This is the refractive surgery of choice for myopia up to 8 diopter. Okay, from 2 to 8 diopter, up to 8 diopter. And the first two were for 6 diopter, up to 6 diopter. This is up to 8 diopter. How many of you got it? How many of you got it? So what is the difference, people? What is the difference between the two type of laser surgeries? I'm teaching you laser ablation. Laser ablations are of two types, PRK and LASIK. Okay, in both of them the lasers are used. But what is the difference? What is the difference? Can you tell me the difference? So here I would like to draw the cornea. And here also I am drawing the cornea, which is more curved. I want to flatten it. The ultimate aim is to flatten it. Here I am directly using laser. Here I am directly putting laser, which is ablating the anterior portion of the cornea. Here first I am taking the flap out. I am taking a flap out. Then I am putting the laser and I am ablating the mid portion and then putting the flap back. The flap is put back. So appreciate the red portion. The red portion here, it is the anterior portion of the cornea which is ablated. Here the mid portion of the cornea, mid portion of the cornea is ablated. Ultimately, this and this both are causing flattening of the cornea. Both of them are causing the flattening. Now you may be thinking, ma'am, why this one is required? Why this LASIK is required? Why PRK was not sufficient? If you were ablating the anterior portion, what's the problem? If you are ablating the anterior portion, the chances of astigmatism is high. Okay, in future, here the chances of astigmatism. So ablating mid portion is safer as comparing ablating anterior portion. And here we can use it for myopia up to 8 diopter. But there are certain criteria for LASIK. Not everyone is fit for LASIK. So the patient should be more than 20 years. LASIK is not performed before 20 years. The patient should be more than 20 years. Okay. The patient should have stable refraction defect for last 1 year. Last 1 year, the number is not changed. It is fixed. Suppose it is 3 diopter or 4 diopter, 3 diopter in this eye, 4 diopter, whatever it is fixed since last 1 year. It is not increasing or decreasing. It is stable. Then only we can perform LASIK. Okay, the patient should be motivated. It should not be mentally retarded or like that. Myopia up to 12 diopter, nahi. You can do it up to 8 diopter. Up to 8 diopter, we can fix it. Absence of any other corneal pathology. Okay, no other corneal pathology. And corneal thickness should be more than 500 micrometer. Normally, corneal thickness is more than 500, but in some persons it is thinner. Because we are taking the flap now, if the cornea is thinner, we are taking a flap of 160 micrometer out of this and then repositing it. But if the cornea is already thin, the chances of rupture can be there. So this is the criteria for selection, and this is contraindication. If the patient is monoocular, don't perform LASIK. If person is blind from one of the eye and only monoocular vision is there and you are performing LASIK in that, no. Don't perform LASIK. Don't take the risk. Any of the complication can happen and person will become permanently blind from both the eyes. No. Monocular patient, don't do LASIK. If there is any infection in the eye, like conjunctivitis, don't do it. Okay, infection can flare. Okay, glaucoma, don't do it. Autoimmune disorder, thin cornea, globe rupture chances are there. Keratoconus, if the corneal endothelial count is less, dry eye or diabetic retinopathy. In all these conditions, don't do LASIK. So you have to learn the criteria for LASIK and contraindication for LASIK, which is very commonly asked in your exam. Now, what are the advantages? There is no post-op pain. It is laser, na? We are using laser. We are not cutting. We are doing with laser. There is no post-op pain. Recovery is very fast as compared to PRK. There is no risk of perforation because we are taking the flap, doing the laser and putting it back. Okay, repositing it. Okay, and there is no residual scarring of the subepithelial tissue. In PRK, there is residual scarring because the anterior portion is ablated. Here, the mid portion is ablated, and it is effective up to 8 diopter. In contrast to PRK, which is effective only up to 6 diopter. I hope you are getting it. So this is LASIK. Okay, you want to see the video? See, here we have taken the flap. Here we are putting the laser to ablate the mid portion of the cornea. And here we are repositing this flap. The flap is reposited. What are the disadvantages? It's expansive. Anyone undergone recently? It's expansive. Depend from ophthalmologist to ophthalmologist and many centers and many things. Here surgical skills are required. And more surgical skills are required to do so as compared to RK and PRK. Because a typical 160 micrometer flap has to be taken. And then laser and then reposition. So the ophthalmologists require more skills to perform it. But there is flap-related complication. Flap-related complication is that intra-op flap amputation. What if this flap get dissociated? If a little bit cut occurs here. Flappy alag ho gaya. So it can happen. Intra-op flap amputation if an unskilled surgeon or a new ophthalmologist is performing. Okay. So that can be the pain. Wrinkling of the flap while repositing. While reposition, the flap should be straight. There should be no wrinkling. Okay, this flap should be straightly reposited. There should be no, but wrinkling can happen. Okay, post-op flap dislocation. So it is reposited, but after surgery, it can again dislocate. Okay, I'm sorry. Again dislocate or sublocate. Okay, epithelialization, flap bed interface. You know, this is flap, you can see, and it is reposited over here. So at the junction of the flap and the cornea, there can be epithelialization or healing can occur and irregular astigmatism can occur. Okay, so these are the disadvantages. So what you should learn, LASIK is very important topic, people, for your exam. You get many MCQs on this. You should know its steps. You should know the criteria. You should know advantages as well as disadvantages. These 4 things you should know. I have told you very well. Everyone say yes. So LASIK is done. Okay, this is the best diagram for LASIK. You can see the flap is taken out. Okay, then laser is given to ablate the mid portion of the cornea. Then the flap is reposited. Okay, and you should know its criteria, advantages, disadvantages. How many of you got it? So we are done with 3 surgeries till now. Can we revise the 3 surgeries together? People fast. Can we revise the 3 surgeries? What 3 surgeries are done till now? I told you radial keratotomy, RK. I told you the 2 type of laser, that is PRK and LASIK. What's the difference between these 3? Let's revise these 3 together in one video. See the 3 together. See RK, see PRK and LASIK. PRK and LASIK are the 2 types of laser based ablations. Appreciate the videos one by one. See, in RK, we are giving radial incisions. Can you appreciate the radial incisions in the cornea up to 90% thickness, leaving the central 4 mm optic area free? Okay, and because of scarring, it leads to flattening. So here cornea become flat by doing so. See what we are doing in PRK. In PRK, we are directly putting laser to ablate and flattening the cornea. The anterior portion is flattened. What we are doing in LASIK, first we are putting a flap. Appreciate, we will take a flap over here. We will take a flap, and after that we give the laser, ablate the mid portion, not the anterior portion. People, I tried my best. Okay, now coming on the next surgery. The next surgery is relax. What is the name of the next surgery? What is the full form of relax? Relax is refractive lenticular extraction. Refractive lenticular extraction. Okay, that is relax. The name of the surgery is relax. It is also known as smile surgery. Okay, what is the full form of smile? Small incision lenticular extraction. Small incision lenticular extraction. Small SM, small incision lenticular extraction. So relax, also known as smile, or it is also known as all femtolaser vision correction. These are the other names given. So what we are basically doing over here, what are the steps? See what are the steps. So first of all, we will apply laser, and with the help of a laser, we will make a tunnel, intrastromal lenticule. That is, you can say it's a, we will create a intrastromal lenticule in the mid cornea. Okay, with the help of laser. We are applying laser, and we are making this size intrastromal lenticule. Okay, we are cutting from here with the help of laser. External cut is not there. With the help of laser, mid-stromal corneal tissue is cut or ablated, you can say. Now we will give a small incision over here, and we will extract it out completely. Okay, see it here. See, can you see here? First, with the help of laser, we are ablating and making a lenticule over here. Then we are giving a small incision over here, and from this incision we extract it out. Appreciate the extraction. So mid portion of the cornea is extracted in the form of a tunnel. How many of you got it? So the lenticule is removed from this incision. It causes flattening of the cornea. The radius of curvature increase. Refractive power will reduce. It will cause correction of the myopia. This portion is same, but above portion you have to understand. So here the red color portion is removed. It is not ablated. It is removed. It is extracted out. So we will give a small incision over here and extract this tissue out. People say yes if you are getting it. So what we are doing here, can you see this red portion? This red portion is not ablated. It is extracted out. That is smile. Small incision, lenticular extraction. This portion is extracted. Smile ka E. That is extracted out. So that causes flattening of the cornea. Can you see? First we are making this lenticule with the help of laser. And now we will give, again we are making. Now we will give a small incision. See, we will give a small incision. We have made this lenticule. Now we will give a small incision and extract it out. See, first we are making the lenticule proper. Okay, in the mid portion of the cornea. Now we are giving a small incision. Appreciate 2 to 4 millimeter incision, a small incision from which we are extracting it out. Appreciate the extraction. I hope you have appreciated. And here up to 10 diopter, the myopia can be corrected. The myopia can be corrected up to 10 diopter. So this was smile. So let's have a smile. It was relax surgery or smile surgery. Coming on the fourth one. The fourth one is intracorneal ring implantation, ICR implantation. Intracorneal ring implantation. Okay, intracorneal ring implantation. As the name indicates, we will implant a ring in the mid portion of the cornea. So what we are doing, you can see it here. What we are doing, first mark the corneal center. Okay, now create a corneal tunnel in the periphery of the cornea, approximately 2/3 stromal depth. You can see it here in the video. Okay, in this image. This is the ring, intracorneal ring. I will implant this ring in the mid portion of the cornea. So first we are making a tunnel, corneal tunnel, in which we will insert this ring. Okay, this ring will put a vaulting effect, that is flattening effect. This ring, after going inside, getting implanted over here, it will cause flattening of the cornea. It will cause flattening of the cornea. Our job is done. Once the cornea is flattened, the job is done. So we are creating a corneal tunnel. We are creating a corneal tunnel in the periphery of the cornea. What is the depth of this tunnel? Two-third depth. Two-third depth in the periphery. And we will insert a corneal ring. This is the corneal ring. Can you see here? First, we are making a tunnel. Appreciate this tunnel. Now we are making a hole. From this hole, we will insert the ring. We are inserting the ring. The ring will cause volving effect, and it is causing flattening. You can see the reshaped cornea. This ring is causing flattening of the cornea. Appreciate, we have implanted a ring, intracorneal ring, in the mid-stromal tissue, in the tunnel inside the cornea. That will cause flattening of the cornea. Okay, you can see it here. So the ring is in the periphery. Suppose this is the cornea. So first in the mid tissue, we will make a ring. We will make a tunnel, and in that tunnel, we will insert the ring. So there will be a ring at the peripheral portion. So if you see from side, you can't see the complete ring. From the front, you can see the complete ring. But from the side, you can see the margins of the ring. So these are the margins of the ring. From the front, you can see the complete ring. From the side view, you cannot see it. Again, the advantage is that it is reversible. Anytime we can remove the ring again. Disadvantage, it can cause keratitis. Okay, got it? The ring is made up of such a material, Sumana, that it don't cause irritation. Okay, but it can cause keratitis sometimes. Keratitis is the inflammation of the cornea. Because of the irritation, sometimes it can cause inflammation of the cornea. That is a disadvantage. But the advantage is that this surgery is reversible. Rest all the surgeries where we are taking the flap, we are extracting the tissue, they are not reversible. Once the tissue is ablated or extracted, you cannot reverse it. But here, ring can be removed anytime. Okay, getting my point? Now the last, the fifth one, the corneal based, the fifth one, it is orthokeratology. Orthokeratology. So what we are doing in orthokeratology? What we are doing in orthokeratology? It's not a surgery actually. I don't know why it is included in surgery. Here we will give a contact lens to wear to the patient overnight. Contact lens. Overnight contact lens. Okay, yesterday I taught you the types of contact lens. Who will tell me the types of contact lens first? There is hard contact lens. There is soft contact lens. What is the third one? Rigid gas permeable. So it is a type of rigid gas permeable contact lens. I taught you the three types of contact lens now. So a rigid gas permeable contact lens is given to the patient to wear overnight, the complete night. Can you see this blue one? And this will cause flattening of the cornea. This is causing flattening of the cornea. It is causing molding of the cornea, and it will cause flattening of the cornea. Once the cornea is flattened, our job is done. Radius of curvature automatically increase and refractive power automatically reduce. Myopia will be corrected. You understand this portion because it is repetition. So what we are doing here, we are giving a contact lens, rigid gas permeable contact lens to the patient to wear it overnight, so that it will cause flattening of the cornea like this. You can appreciate here. Appreciate the two diagrams very well. Can you appreciate the two diagrams in front of you? Appreciate this contact lens given to the patient. See the shape of the cornea here. It's curved. And after wearing overnight, the cornea become flattened. The cornea become, appreciate this change. I want to highlight this change. Flattening of the cornea because of wearing this contact lens. Okay, so here the person is wearing the contact lens, which is causing flattening of the cornea. The contact lens is rigid gas permeable contact lens. So it is orthokeratology. But this is considered only for myopia up to 5 diopter, not more than that. And it can be used in patient below 18 years also, in contrast to LASIK, which is performed after 20 years. But it can be used in children also. But up to 5 diopter. Yes, you can see it is non-surgical procedure. You can see the video. Here, the contact lens is put, and see it is causing flattening. Appreciate, it is causing the flattening of the cornea. Flattening. Orthokeratology. I hope you got it. So cornea-based procedures are done. People, can you show all 5 cornea-based procedures? Not 5. Actually, they are 6. Because these are of 2 types, the laser based. So first one was RK, radial keratotomy. The second is PRK, okay, photorefractive keratectomy. The third is LASIK, you know the full form of LASIK. Fourth is relax or smile, relax or smile. The fifth is intracorneal ring implantation, and sixth is orthokeratology. Show me the 6 surgeries in one diagram, master diagram, my diagram, my innovation. The 6 surgeries in front of you. See the normal cornea and see the six surgeries. People respond. This is the best way I can teach you the surgery. You will not get the more simplified version of this. Okay, so now you can teach to all your friends, colleagues, everyone, all the six surgeries together. Say what we are doing. See normal cornea. This is normal cornea, which is flat. And see, these all are myopic corneas. And we want to make them flat. If we want to treat them, we want to make them flat. Flattening of the cornea will cause increase in radius of curvature and reduce refractive power, and it get treated. So how we are getting the flattening? There are six methods for flattening the cornea. What are these six methods? Who will help me? None of you got excited looking at this diagram. I don't know. Such a boring audience. People, show some interest. Can you see the six surgeries together on one page? Please say. The first one is radial keratotomy. Radial keratotomy, in which we are giving radial incisions in the peripheral part of the cornea up to 90% thickness, and that will lead to flattening of the cornea. The second is PRK, photorefractive keratectomy, in which we are using laser to ablate the anterior portion of the cornea, which is causing flattening of the cornea. Okay, the third is laser in situ keratogliosis. Here, first we are taking a flap out, then we are putting the laser to ablate the mid portion of the cornea, and then we are repositing the flap, and that will cause flattening of the cornea again. The fourth one is smile or relax. You know the full form. Okay, smile. Small incision laser, small incision lenticular extraction. So first we are making a lenticular tunnel. Okay, and then we are giving a small incision over here, from which we are extracting this tissue. So here this portion of the cornea is removed, it's extracted. So that is relax or smile. Then intracorneal ring implantation, in which there is a ring which we are implanting in the mid portion of the cornea, and that is causing volvular effect and flattening of the cornea. Ultimately, it's also causing flattening. And this is a contact lens. It is known as orthokeratology, in which we are giving a contact lens to wear overnight, that is causing flattening of the cornea. Ultimately, the cornea get flattened in all of them. Okay, the six surgeries, they are very simple in front of you. All of them are cornea based, and you will not get this diagram anywhere on the internet, on any platform, on any book. You search everywhere. If someone other one is having the same innovation, I don't check every person, but yeah, this is my own innovation which I have made today only. Okay, the six type of surgeries in front of you. Okay, anyways, coming on the lens based surgeries, the last two surgeries. Okay, the lens based surgeries. What are the two lens based surgeries? Refractive lens exchange and phakic refractive lens. Now here we will not change cornea. Here we are causing flattening of the cornea and all of that. Here we are not touching cornea. We will change the lens. Okay, so lens based procedures, because we know for refractive power, three factors are there. One is cornea, one is lens, and one is axial length. In all these six procedures, we were flattening the cornea. But in these two procedures, we will change the lens. We will do some changes in the lens, not in the cornea. Because ultimately, the aim of all these surgeries is to reduce the refractive power, which is elevated in myopia. We want to reduce it and bring it back to normal. This is the aim. Don't forget the aim. To fulfill this aim, we can do procedures in the cornea. We can do procedure in the lens. We cannot change the axial length, the third factor. Axial length we cannot change. But we can do flattening of the cornea. By doing flattening of the cornea, refractive power will be reduced, and we will do some changes in the lens. Again, ultimately, by doing changes in the lens, we will reduce the refractive power. So lens-based procedures are two. They are in front of you. The first is refractive lens exchange. The first one is refractive lens exchange. Okay, refractive lens exchange. So as the name indicates, the natural lens given by the God in the eye, the transparent natural lens, convex lens, it is replaced by the artificial lens. Okay, so first we will extract the clear natural lens given by the God, and in place of it we will put an artificial lens. The artificial lens is known as intraocular lens, IOL. It's an artificial lens. It will be implanted of appropriate power. The power of the artificial lens will be less than the natural lens, because ultimately in the eye we want to reduce the refractive power, no? Because in myopia, we are treating a patient of myopia. In myopia, the refractive power is more. I want to reduce the refractive power without touching cornea. Okay, so I have to put a lens of less power, so that ultimately refractive power of the eye will be reduced. Okay, so how much correction I want? I will put the lens of that correction. Okay, and this is the correction. It's very easy. These are artificial lens. These are known as intraocular lens. They look like this, IUL. When I will teach you chapter lens in your ophthalmology, there is a chapter lens. I will teach you all the diseases, cataract of lens. There I will teach you these surgeries in much detail. Here you can see the glimpse. Okay, lens-based surgery. So here what we are doing, you can see this is the artificial lens, intraocular lens. We will implant it. First, we will take the natural lens out, and in place of it, we will put the artificial lens. The artificial lens refractive power is less than the natural. So how much correction we require? How much that particular, first we will calculate it, and exactly that diopter lens we will put inside that, so that the myopia is corrected. How many of you got it? You can see same. This is, you can see this is intraocular lens, the artificial lens, which is already implanted in place of natural lens. See, so we are putting the intraocular lens like this. I will tell you the steps in detail when I will teach you the chapter lens. First, we will take the natural lens out, and then we will put the intraocular lens like this by making a tunnel. There are various methods of putting it. I will teach you all. Okay. Here, myopia up to 12 diopter or more than 12 diopter is also corrected. Because whatever lens you want to put, you can put now. You want a decrease, reduction of 12 diopter. You take out the natural lens, put a lens which is having power 12 diopter less than the natural lens. And you can put that. So it will be minus 12 diopter correction. Okay, like that. So that was the first procedure. The second procedure, the last procedure, is phakic refractive lens. What is the phakic refractive lens or implantable contact lens? So here we are not, they looks like this. We will, please understand, they look like this. We will not take out the natural lens. The natural lens is as it is. Here, this is the natural lens. Here it is there. On the anterior surface of the natural lens, we are sticking it, so that the overall refractive power will reduce. Okay, you are getting my point. So this is having whatever refractive power. Here you will put the lens, concave lens, divergent. So overall refractive power, it will also have some different. So overall the net refractive power will reduce, and ultimately the myopia is corrected. So in this surgery, that is phakic refractive lens or implantable contact lens, phakic refractive lens or implantable contact lens. Okay, so it's the type of contact lens only, which is not worn outside. It is already implanted inside, permanently intra. So it's a contact lens. Actually, it's a contact lens. It is implanted on the lens inside. It is not implanted. Normal contact lens is implanted outside on the cornea. It's removable. But this is a contact lens which is already implanted inside the eye over the surface of the lens. So read it. So it's a special type of contact lens which is implanted on the anterior surface of natural lens. Very easy. I have used very easy language. Everyone can understand. So ultimately, we are reducing the refractive, overall, the net refractive power will be reduced. And there will be correction of myopia. People, I tried now. Say, so what you are doing, this is how you are putting it. And this is how you are implanting it on the anterior surface of the lens. Okay, and here myopia of more than 8 diopter is also corrected. So we are done. We are done. I taught you 6 surgeries here, 2 surgeries here. I taught you total 8 surgeries of myopia, the most important 8 surgeries. And this is a summary of the 8 surgeries. You can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the corneal based surgery, and see, they are used for correction of how many diopter for your MCQs. And these are 2 lens based surgery, and see, they are used up to correction of how many diopters. These all are your MCQs. Based on the surgeries. Steps I already explained you. Videos I have already shown you. Images I have already explained you. Can we revise it, people? 8 surgeries. 6 cornea based, 2 lens based. Total 8 surgeries are there. Okay. So first revise corneal surgeries. The 6 corneal surgeries that we have already revised. This is radial keratotomy. This is photorefractive keratectomy. This is LASIK. Okay. This is smile or relax. Okay, this is intracorneal ring implantation, and this is orthokeratology. You know what we are doing. In all of them, we are flattening the cornea so that the radius of curvature is increased and refractive power is reduced, and the correction of myopia can be done. So these are the 6. Okay, the same 6 you can see. The same 6 I am showing. In these images, if you find easy, you can draw this. These are my images, and the bookish images are in front of you. The same 6 surgeries. You can see this is RK, radial keratotomy. You can see radial incisions are given like this. Okay. You can see this is PRK, in which the anterior portion is ablated of cornea. You can see this is LASIK, in which a flap is taken and then the mid portion is ablated. Okay. You can see this is SMILE, in which a portion, a lenticulate is extracted out. And you can see this is orthokeratology, in which a contact lens is worn to flatten the cornea. Okay, these are 6 corneal based. Now coming on lens based. Lens based are only two. So what are the two lens based? Either we take out the natural lens and in place of it, a artificial lens is implanted, that is IOL implantation of the correct refractive power. We have to calculate the exact refractive power. How it is done, I will teach you in the chapter lens. Okay, and or else we can take a contact lens, implantable contact lens. So it is a contact lens which is not worn outside the cornea. No, it is implanted inside the eye on the anterior surface of the lens so that the net refractive power of the lens as well as contact lens will be reduced and the myopia can be corrected. People, we are done. We are done with the surgeries. I'm ending the session. Today, actually, we were not having the session. I have taken this extra session today just to complete this topic. So surgeries are done. How many of you got it? First, give me a thumbs up. Anyone have any doubt? Anyone? Sumanna, Amar, Akash, anyone, those all who are live, Joel, I cannot see other names, Antara, Ben, anyone, Harika. So these are the surgeries. Next session we are having tomorrow. Don't you dare to miss it. Tomorrow we are having very important FMT, forensic medicine session. So tomorrow, 12th November, Wednesday, we are having the session on FMT. The topic is impotence and sterility. And if time allows, I will take virginity also. Okay. It will be in-app session. The demo sessions are over. The students who are there for demo, the demo sessions are over. And the session will be on app and it will be 5 p.m. sharp. As usual. Thank you so much. If you have any other queries, please don't hesitate to ask or WhatsApp on our support number. Thank you so much. If you have any subject related query also, you can text it. I will get that query. Okay. I will take all the topics, Joel, one by one. I will schedule it. Just follow my 15 days schedule given ahead. Okay, so every 15 day I will give the upcoming 15 days. So the upcoming 15 day, I'm going to give you the schedule from 16th November till 30th November. Then the next I will give you from 1st December till 15 December. The next I will give you 16 December till 31st December. Likewise, every 15 day I will keep you giving the schedule and I will try to cover the entire syllabus in the end of the February. Okay, mostly. Okay. Got it? Can we end the session? Okay, chalo. I'm ending the session. Any other query? You can ask on our support number. Thank you so much. So today I'm having the first session at 7:30 for your juniors. I'm starting the second Prof Buster 2.0. Many of you students have already studied second Prof from me and now you are in third Prof. Many of you. So second Prof Buster 1.0 is already over successfully. Many of you got the distinctions and I'm very happy and proud all of you, and you performed very well in your exams, as well as many of you performed very well in your competitive exam, those who have joined for your NEET, PG and all. You performed very well. I'm getting multiple messages from many students, many universities, many colleges. So with the successful completion of the 1.0 second Prof Buster, we are launching second Prof Buster 2.0 batch today. Today is the demo session. If you or any of your juniors are interested in attending, you can tell them. The session will be on YouTube. It will be on 7:30 today, and I'm starting with pathology neoplasia. So any of your junior interested, kindly let them know on their batch groups or individually if any of your junior ask you for studying. So demo sessions are available. 2 will be for patho, 2 for pharma, 2 for micro as usual, and they will be on YouTube. And from today, we are inaugurating it. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Good night. I'm ending the session. See you all tomorrow at 5. Bye-bye. Thank you so much, Rakesh. Thank you. Bye-bye.